The French village of Oradour-Sur-Glane stands still, as if frozen in a moment of time. Time seems to have stopped here, with nature slowly reclaiming the remnants of human life. Rusty cars sit parked on the road, untouched for decades, a silent testament to the lives that were abruptly halted. Sun-bleached toys lay scattered on the ground, remnants of a once vibrant community now eerily quiet. It is a ghost town, forever scarred by the horrors of World War II, a place where the echoes of the past still linger. On June 10, 1944, this peaceful village was transformed into a scene of unimaginable cruelty as Nazi forces descended upon it. The events of that day remain etched in history, a chilling reminder of the human cost of war and the depths of human cruelty. The story of Oradour-Sur-Glane is not just about the past, it is a living memory, a place where history is preserved in every stone and every silent street. It serves as a stark warning for the future, a reminder that we must remain vigilant against the forces of hatred and intolerance. It reminds us that hatred and intolerance can lead to unimaginable atrocities, and that we must strive to build a world where such horrors are never repeated. The silence of the village speaks volumes, a silence that is both haunting and profound. It is a silence that demands to be heard, a reminder that such horrors must never happen again, and that we must honor the memory of those who suffered by ensuring a better future for all. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces landed in Normandy, France. This monumental event was meticulously planned and executed, involving thousands of ships, aircraft, and soldiers. The beaches of Normandy became the stage for one of the most significant military operations in history. D-Day, as it came to be known, marked a turning point in World War II. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who stormed the beaches that day cannot be overstated. Their actions paved the way for the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi control. The liberation of France from Nazi occupation had begun. Towns and cities across the country saw the arrival of Allied forces, bringing hope and relief to the French people who had endured years of oppression and hardship. However, the war was far from over. The battles that followed were intense and brutal, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The struggle for freedom was a long and arduous journey. The fighting was fierce, and the cost in human life was staggering. Every inch of ground gained came at a high price, with countless soldiers making the ultimate sacrifice. The horrors of war were felt deeply by all involved. In the small village of Oradour-Sur-Glane, life continued under the shadow of war. The villagers went about their daily routines, trying to maintain a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos that surrounded them. The villagers were aware of the fighting but felt far removed from the front lines. They believed that their remote location would keep them safe from the conflict that raged on. They held on to the hope that the war would soon be over and life would return to normal. The resilience and optimism of the villagers were a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even in the darkest of times. They could not have imagined the horror that awaited them. The tragic events that would soon unfold in Oradour-Sur-Glane would leave an indelible mark on history, a stark reminder of the atrocities of war and the innocent lives caught in its path.
The German soldiers who arrived in Oradour-Sur-Glane were members of the Waffen-SS. This notorious unit was known for its brutality and fanaticism. They had been sent to Oradour-Sur-Glane on a mission of reprisal. The resistance, a French guerrilla force fighting against the Nazi occupation, had been active in the region. The Germans believed mistakenly that the villagers of Oradour-Sur-Glane were harboring resistance fighters. They were also seeking revenge for the capture of a German officer by the resistance. Fueled by anger and paranoia, they were determined to make an example of the village. The stage was set for a horrific tragedy.
Section 4. The Horror Unveiled. On that fateful afternoon, the German soldiers surrounded the village. They rounded up all the inhabitants, men, women, and children.
The villagers were herded into the village square, their faces etched with fear and confusion. They had no idea what was about to happen.
The soldiers separated the men from the women and children. The men were marched off to barns and sheds on the outskirts of the village. The women and children were locked inside the village church. The air was thick with tension and dread. No one could have prepared themselves for the nightmare that was about to unfold. Section 5. In the Wake of Annihilation. Inside the barns, the German soldiers opened fire on the men. Machine guns roared, cutting down the villagers in a hail of bullets.
The screams of the dying were cut short as the soldiers set fire to the barns, trapping those who had survived the initial onslaught.
At the church, the soldiers ignited a firebomb, throwing it into the building. Flames engulfed the church, trapping the terrified women and children inside. The screams of the burning victims echoed through the village. When the fire subsided, the village of Oradour-Sur-Glane was a smoldering ruin, a testament to the depths of human cruelty. Section 6. A Testament in Ruins. After the war, the French government decided to preserve the ruins of Oradour-Sur-Glane as a memorial. The site stands as a chilling reminder of the horrors of war and the consequences of hatred and intolerance.
The burned-out buildings, the bullet-riddled walls, and the scattered personal belongings of the victims serve as silent witnesses to the atrocity. Visitors from around the world come to Oradour-Sur-Glane to pay their respects. They walk through the silent streets, reflecting on the events of that terrible day.
The village serves as a powerful reminder of the human cost of war and the importance of tolerance and understanding. Section 7. Lest we forget. This chapter delves into the heart-wrenching events that took place in Oradour-Sur-Glane, a small village in France that became a symbol of the atrocities of war. The massacre at Oradour-Sur-Glane was not an isolated incident, says historian Sarah Farmer, author of Martyred Village commemorating the 1944 massacre at Oradour-Sur-Glane. Her extensive research sheds light on the broader context of this tragedy.
It was part of a pattern of violence and brutality that characterized the Nazi occupation of France. The systematic oppression and terror inflicted upon the French people left deep scars that are still felt today.
The tragedy of Oradour-Sur-Glane stands as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the importance of remembering the victims. The village was decimated, its inhabitants brutally murdered, leaving behind a haunting silence. It is a reminder that we must never forget the past, lest we repeat its mistakes. The memories of those who suffered and perished must be preserved and honored.
The village, frozen in time, serves as a powerful symbol of the enduring impact of war on individuals, families, and communities. The ruins stand as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit amidst unimaginable suffering. It is a place of remembrance, reflection, and a call for peace and understanding. Visitors from around the world come to pay their respects, to learn, and to ensure that such atrocities are never repeated.